What's going on, guys? Welcome to our user manual series. In this video, we're going to go over the A-Jac and the A-Jac bundle. Specifically, we're going to go over how to adjust the shoulder straps, how to insert the ballistic plates, and how to adjust the cummerbund. If you've ordered the bundle, these are all the items that are going to come with it. You have your A-Jac plate bags, the DSMC elastic cummerbund, the first spear tubes, male adapters, and our triple mag placard. We'll assemble it at the end. If you order it, it's going to come assembled, but for the purpose of the video, we have all the individual components laid out like this. Let's get these ones out of the way, and we'll go over the shoulder straps first. Okay, so we'll remove these cushions. These just attach via Velcro, so those really easily come off. And then to adjust the shoulder straps, it kind of helps to know how they work, so let me show you that. I'm going to completely remove one. As you can see, this shoulder strap is basically, it's connected to the front plate bag, and it's just one long continuous shoulder strap. So the cool thing is you have a huge range of adjustability for this thing because you have the totality of the length of this to find like the perfect fit for you, right? The shoulder strap has to go up through the first slit, okay, like that, and then back down through the second slit. It should look like that, and you'll see this bite formed if you've done it correctly. I'll incorrectly see people, instead of going up through the first slit, they just take this and then they just route it through like that. Very wrong, because if we flip this over, look at what's going on. Here's our correctly routed one, and this metal hardware is pretty locked in place. Here's the incorrectly routed one. This metal thing is just going to dig into your shoulder. It's not going to be good. So definitely make sure that it goes up through the first slit, down through the second slit. And then if we flip it to the back side, this is also really important. If we look inside, there's two portions of hook. This is a smaller portion of hook that this flap attaches to enclose the plate within the plate bag. This bigger portion of hook is what grabs this loop underside of the shoulder strap. Okay, so do not do this, where you route your shoulder strap and then you just tuck it like that and then you close this thing up. Okay, and here's why. This isn't flat, all right? So when it goes against your body, look at this big bunched up portion of material here. That's just going to be against your shoulder. Super uncomfortable. So when you're setting it up, what I do is I take it and I use my hand here to like cover up that hook, right? I'll line it up over this thing, right? This thing kind of lets me know if I'm going in straight. So this would be very crooked, as you can see that. It doesn't line up over this guy at all. You see how that's like kind of misaligned? You seen that? Mm-hmm. Perfect. So what I do is, again, I take my hand, make sure that I'm covering up that hook, push down with my left hand, okay, to flatten it out, and then I'll kind of give it one of those. Now there's no material that can bunch up and be uncomfortable. Okay, so slide as much of or as little of this shoulder strap through this hardware and connect it to the hook to adjust the length of the shoulder strap. And that's pretty much it for adjusting the shoulder straps. So next I'll show you how to insert the ballistic plates. Here's just like a pair of 10 by 12 swimmer cut plates I have. Take this guy, put it in, and do not half-ass just Velcro like that, because you're going to look like a fucking idiot. It's pretty ugly, okay? It's ugly now, especially while worn. It doesn't look good, all right? So when you put this plate in here, make sure that the plate's seated all the way down at the bottom. I'll pull up this plate bag a little bit, and then look at these slits right here. I can kind of tell if my plate bag, if my plate is centered in the plate bag just by making sure these slits are centered on the top of my plate here, right? Then what I want to do is, as I'm pushing this plate in, I'm pulling on this flap and I'm tightly wrapping the plate within the plate bag. As I get that this portion here, I'm pulling with this left hand up, okay? And then I'm connecting it. Now, you can also kind of double check that you're centered, because this portion of the loop Velcro should fit between these two columns, all right? Now, what I mean by that is that's not centered. That's going to look stupid, all right? And it's also going to create like a little, thing here that could get caught on something. You don't want to do it, right? Take the time to do it right. Push on the bottom of the plate bag, pull up on the flap, tightly fold it over, and then with my left hand here, I'm going to pull up even more. I'm looking for this portion to be centered between these two columns of Velcro. And Yeah, that's what you want. You can kind of see here too, like if it's level, this little exposed portion of loop Velcro, that should be kind of continuous. This looks like a 1/4 inch along the whole way, so I know that I set it up right. We'll do the same thing over here for the front plate bag. And boom. Cool thing about that is with this flap and the top loading design, the plate has nowhere to go up and down, right? This is a pair of swimmer cut plates, so another thing that we have that we'll show you in a different video is our small swimmer cut adaptation piece, and it's going to wrap horizontally around this plate to make sure that the plate can't go left or right within the plate bag, but that's a different video. Okay, so we went over the shoulder straps, we went over how to insert the plates. Next I'll reattach these cushions for you real quick, and then I'll show you how to adjust the cummerbund. The cushions are super easy. Put these wherever's most comfortable for you. Most of the time what I'm looking for is this stitch, and then I just take the end of my cushion and I do that. I've seen some people like undo the Velcro one wrap, put the cushion in, and then like really secure the cushion like that. I guess you can do that if you want. You don't need to do that though, because it's just hook to loop Velcro connection. So that's an unnecessary step. Do it if you want, but then this is going to be up against your body and you don't want that. So I wouldn't route it like that. I would look for that stitch, take the end, and kind of just make sure it's parallel, and you're good there. To adjust the cummerbund, you'll undo these tabs. And I'll fold this over for you here. Then I'm going to drag this right there. I think that's good. Okay, now you have this loop field that's exposed here. So if you take your cummerbund, again, if you order like our bundle, it's going to come assembled. And you'll notice that it's going to come as tight as it can go, meaning we overlap the cummerbund as much as we could. And that just goes like that, right? This is as tight as it goes. To find out like the right fitment for you, what you're probably going to want to do is take this thing on a run, because the comfortability of it is going to be much different if you're just like standing in your kit versus if you're like bounding in your kit and you're like really like breathing heavily, you know? So I would definitely encourage you to go like run around in it and then kind of base that off of like the correct tightness of your cummerbund. But let's say you need to loosen it up a little bit. It's super easy. It's just more or less overlap to adjust it, right? So if that's as tight as it gets, little looser, little looser, little looser. And then if you want it as, not loose, but like, I guess, bigger, you know, depending on your waist size. This is it maxed out. There's no overlap, and the individual sides of the components are just attached directly to the loop portion like that. You do want to make sure that the cummerbund, we've designed it in a way where it's pretty hard to mess this up, but you do want the cummerbund to be towards the bottom of the plate as much as possible, right? So here's the bottom of my cummerbund, here's the bottom of my plate. They're like almost parallel, which is exactly what you want. Next, we'll flip this back over. And then again, do not do this. Don't half-ass just close this thing, all right? Don't do it. If you flip this over, okay, so let's say we just half-ass close it. Look what that does. Okay, this thing is gonna get caught on something, and it looks fucking stupid. Take this, and then you're really tightening it down. I'm really pulling, tightening it down, and now look, that gap is non-existent. It's completely closed. That's exactly what you want. Okay, so that's it for the cummerbund. For the bundle, I'll just show you this triple mag placard, how I attach that with the tubes. This is pretty simple. I'll flip this over to the back side, take my adapters. What I'm looking for is the end of my hook here to line up with the end of my hook here. And then you have a lot of like a range of adjustability for like the height. That's why we didn't sew these in like some other placards, just so that you'd have that like adjustment. Usually what I'm looking for is I'll use this stitch here as like my top marker. And what I mean by that is when I attach them, I just make it look like that. Do the same thing for the other side. And then I'm going to take these G-hooks, I'm going to go over to these laser cut slits, and I'm sliding them into that. With that side, that side, and it's going to go just like that. Real quick, one thing I just thought of, if you're going to try to molly anything to the front or the back of this, just take the ballistic plates out. It's going to be way easier to attach anything via molly if there are no plates in the plate bags. Okay, to put this thing on, this thing goes over your head. And if you properly set it up, what you're looking for, does this mic still look good? Mic still look good?
It sounds good.
Definitely good. Definitely good. Okay, so what you're looking for is this front plate to kind of sit like right above your collarbone, right? This first spear tube hardware is pretty awesome. You're just going to slide that over like that. You should hear like a little click. It'll lock in like that. You'll do that to both sides. All right, give it a little tug, make sure it's good. And that's it, right? To take the plate carrier off, the first spear tube's off of this cool quick off mechanism. You just take that little tab and you just jerk down. Pretty cool. All right, and that's gonna be it. If I was you, that's how I would set it up.